Hey there, Sam here with you for an update by request from my members at CGQ, Canopy Growth Corporation. Well, if crypto is going to go sideways, let's check out the weed stocks. All right, this is plenty of action, plenty of volatility. It's beautifully technical. A good place to be looking. Now, so I've got an Elliott count on here. It's kind of hard to miss this one, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's just hard to miss it. I don't know how you could miss that, right? Even the subdivision is all perfect. So you've got a very clear and all I've done here is just wicked off the lowest low here, just so I don't have to keep going back there to grab it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boy, just perfect. It's literally impossible to miss it. Well, there's a few. You might look for a few things here. So I spot, of course, just standard ops, length of the 2. Well, so I just went on a rant about the S&P, about how you absolutely must know about these. Not just the S&P. Well, here's the tag of the 618. Right? We come back, we visit the 50, so it's just literally tick to tick, right? So we just blow. We get a little pause at the first target, blow right into second target. Pretty good. So you look, and just because so here, let me make this point here. Just because we have this perfect tick here. And that, granted, that's deep. That is deep for a 4, right? And that's actually the A, most likely. That's the A of the 4. So it looks like a kind of a funky A, B, C, and we get a truncated C here with somewhat unusual. Note we go right into the pocket of the Vegas wave, right? So 1, 2, 3, technical, but it looks like A, B, shallow C of the correction. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the 5 fails. And here, let me show you what I mean by that. So I've got a technical pivot here, so I can get a 1, 2 out of this. So you're looking at that 2 thinking, oh, okay, well, it just was perfectly good last time. So I'm going to go up and I'm going to take the length of that 3 from the 2. Well, here's the tag of the 50, right? Same algorithm, they don't get there. It gets denied. So just because they have a reaction, not a pretty good reaction, but just because it's there doesn't mean they always get target, right? So now that has been, this algorithm has been stopped out here. So looking at that, excuse me, so sorry, looking at that, well, a completed 5-way, right? It's just standard ops. We're just going to take the absolute low here, and we're going to go up to that pivot. Well, here's the reaction at the 50. You get a little kick, and then it's kind of in between. So you look at that and you go, wonder why. That's always the question, right? If it's not to the tick, right? So here's to the tick. This was to the tick. If it's not to the tick, you kind of look at that and you say, I wonder why. Wonder why. Well, there's always an algorithm on the other side. So first thing I'd look at is, did another algorithm win the day? All right. So we don't have to wonder about that. So there, I showed it. I have to have shown this 1,000 times on here. So I just showed, 6 or 7 winners in a row on the S&P, right, where it's all algo driven. So there it is here in the weed stocks, right? From the 50 to, how do we know it's an algorithm? It's not this, it's this. What's the reaction at the target? Right? That's how we know. So that is literally to the tick on the target, and they decide to buy it. So while you're drawing that up and you're going, wonder why they don't make the 618. There's why. Up it goes. All right, so with that established, we've got a clear count. We've had a very technical pivot here. We know what happened there. So that's a strong candidate, since I've got a nice ABC, perfectly technical, big rip up. It's, process of elimination. Could it be that we're going to have a more complex, maybe a flat, something like that? This because it's so technical, looks like it's done. Yeah, there is the possibility that we could have something like this. That's can't ignore it. But right now, as technically as this is trading, there's no reason to go there. As I will often tell you, you trade it until it fails. So I've got a strong candidate for a 2 here. That certainly looks impulsive rather than corrective. Now, I should mention here I'm on the daily, right? So with equities, always on the daily, right? At the very least, you start on the daily. That certainly looks impulsive, not corrective. But right, of course, you got to check it. So we go 786 to the tick, right? So again, this is so precise in here. So that's you know, it would be good luck pulling an ABC out of that. It's just really a straight rip up. So I think much higher probability, despite the technical pivot up here, much higher probability that that's the 1. So we're in the process of looking for the 2. So with that established, we'd be looking here. Okay, it looks like the 1 is in. Well, we've tagged the 38. Doesn't look like we're done. Now, it's not unheard of for in a strong market for the 2 to only go to the 38, but I wouldn't be chasing it here. This looks like maybe there's a, oh, you could be in the process of maybe this is the A. You've got some sort of a B going in here. I don't know if this is done. We'll have to rethink it. If it breaks this pivot and we're going to go higher, then the 1's not done yet. But I've got a candidate for something like that. That's not unreasonable. Now, I would wait personally. I do like trading the weed stocks. This down here, look at all this structure I've got. So I've got this pivot, I've got this pivot, I've got this nice little pocket down here. So is it going to be offered down here? Well, you know, no way to know. But right, the 50 may hold it. But if I were trying to set up my absolute perfect trade here, it's hard not to like that. All right, now that would get us up to a double top, and if this is going to go into a third, that likely wouldn't be. So the third would be up here. So nothing says we have to stop there. Third target, we know that'll be very close to the 1618. So if I'm putting together a roadmap, that's pretty much what I'm seeing there. So this would be, so I'd want to know about it when we got to the 50. Since I wouldn't be checking this every day, I'd have an alert at the 50, see if I like the subdivision enough down here. But the structure here is so good at the 618, and knowing that there's a strong tendency for the 2 to go between the 50 and the 618, I sure would be licking my chops for that buy. Knowing that the possibility is here I'm catching the third, well, shit, in this case, yeah, it would be the third of the third, which is that's your moneymaker. We're all trying to get the third of the third. So it sure is setting up. So I look at that and I go, same thing I would ask, all of you guys. Why would you not take that trade? Right? Very, very low risk reward. I mean, well, I should say it this way. Very low risk, very high potential reward. If that's going to go to the third, and just for fun, let's just draw it up. So what kind of potential do we have there? Let's split the difference. So maybe you're working on a split fill. Take a portion at the 50 if it's going to go to the 618. So just for the easy math here. Now, if you want to be super tight on it, give it a little cushion under the 618, there's 13 to 1. You want to be a little more generous, knowing that a 2 could go that deep. Now, you'd be breaking some of this structure. You've got some here as well. If we look over here, some of this, well, it's just easier to do it this way. Just you might include this as well. Bring that over here. So you've got a little structure there that would, so you potentially first bite at the 50, second bite at the 618, third bite at the 786, stop below. If this is because then you'd be rethinking things and you'd be thinking A, B, we're going down for a deeper C. But right now, until it fails, that's what I'd be looking for. 13 to 1, hell yes. Hell yes, that's a trade to look at. Now, you don't know, or so it's going to come down to the 50, so maybe that's a portion. Now, so if it only comes to the 50 and then it starts to go, well, don't panic. It's not like, don't chase it. Wait for the first retrace, then catch that, because it's not going to go straight. There are times when they go straight, but you can see it here, straight, right? This straight up followed by straight, well, actually not straight down, right? So we had straight, retrace to the 50, perfect algo play. And, is that an algorithm wanting to get filled there? Hard to argue with it. Right? So coming down here, this is definitely the area to be looking between the 50 and the 618. For first entry, I'd be all over that, right? So if you guys are tracking this, interested in that, Again, why would you not take it? Right? Stop. That's up to your own money management rules, discipline, account size. Remember, the other thought is you could trade it with options. It's always better. The reason I like options is if it's coming down, the calls are getting less expensive here, just virtue of the delta changing. So I would want to be in an option with plenty of time to allow that to happen. But as that's coming down, I want to buy calls when when the price is moving down. So that's certainly an option. Now, the one other thing I thought I would show you here, just to, let me get this off of here. I've shown it before, just to give you a little teachable moment here. This is kind of particular to TradingView. So I have a channel on here because this lens, you see this trend line here hits the B here. So it's just a perfect setup for a channel. But you've got a couple of different ways you can approach that. So as I've shown you before, a set of modified shift is just a channel. So if you prefer to do it with the modified shift, you could do it this way. So you just go here. Now, do you see how now you're just on a channel? Right? It just duplicates. You just put the pitchfork on those three pivots, and you get a modified shift is a channel. Now, there's a couple things you can do to account for this higher price. So one thing you can do with the pitchfork is just go to the settings, and in this case, it looks like about a 200. That'll catch it. All right. So you've got the ability to add parallels in with the median lines, which is why I will typically go there first. But if you're not, for whatever reason, so I should finish up here and say note here, we're going to come when we get to this, that median line will be in play. Now if we're going to go deep, there it is down here at the 786. So anywhere in this zone, I'd be looking for opportunities to enter, knowing that a break of that's where I want to be out. But all of this coming down, and even the last little bite of it here, all set up to go to that. So there's how to do it with median lines. Now, of course, if I take this off, the center line's acting like a median line in a channel. But with channels, what I'll do is if for whatever reason I'm going to use channels, I'll just clone it, and then I just draw it up higher, and you ultimately end up with the same thing. All right, so I get all of this. Now I could go further. If it's going to keep going higher, I could just pull it up so I've got a full duplication of that channel, but I don't go there until I need it. I'll keep it only on half of it here. So you want to try and get that right on it. So until I need to push that up, but I know it's there because I know, well, because you did it, right? So you know that's not the standard channel. So coming down here, again, no matter how you like it, the idea is to be buying into that retrace, looking for this move here. That's the big 3. That would be the 3 relative to this 1, 2. The 3 on this, that's even higher. All right, so nice looking setup there. All right, guys. Talk to you later.